So what do you know about burnout competitions? I can tell you I really don't know much about them, never entered one. But I'm going to enter one today with this car, my 1971 Plymouth Satellite. Now, of course, down there we do have the correct number of pedals, got 3 of them, so this should be pretty interesting. And I do have all 4 gears, just so we're all aware. As you can see from right here, it will spin both tires, so at the very least that'll be pretty nice, but the clutch is pretty sticky, kind of hard to get up in here. At least that means that it spins these 295/50s with ease. Now under the hood here we do have a 318 in front of the 4-speed, so it's nice, high, wide, and light, all the good stuff. You know what I'm trying to say here. But what we don't have is a line lock, and we're gonna fix that today because I need to do this burnout competition. Registration starts at 3 and it's closing in on 1 o'clock. So by 5 I need to have it installed and be at the event. Because while, yes, you can let off the clutch and instantly hit the brake, well, I would much rather not be spinning the back tires with the rear brakes actuated. So we're going to put the line lock on to try to make it to where it'll save my rear brakes. Now behind the front tires, front wheels, we do have a set of drum brakes, which yes, most people are going to say, hey, why don't you have discs on it? I actually got rid of the discs in favor of the drums because of multiple different reasons, which I will not get into in this video. If you want to know, let me know. Now laid out before you, I have all of the components I need, from the plumbing, hardware, all the way up to the electrical components in order to make this happen. So I'm going to install this B&M line lock into the car. For those of you interested, it's part number 46075. And we're going to make it to where this car should be able to do pretty nice little 4-speed burnouts. I'm hoping to just throw it in second gear, bam, and let go of the clutch and have it just take off like a rocket ship. By which I mean spin the tires and hopefully smoke them a little bit. Now to install the line lock, I'm using this carrot right here. Now this is what you call a threaded nutsert, or basically a rivet with threads in it. So you use this fancy tool that quite literally looks like a pot rivet gun, except these little fittings are going to have, in this case, a 1/4 thread to work with a 1/4 bolts. That's how I'm going to mount this thing and make it way easier. I like doing that with everything that I mount to cars. I'm not really opposed to drilling into them, especially when they're like this thing. This car is not exactly the nicest. So I've already got my 3/8 hole drill. That's what size you need for this particular fitting. You just stick it in the hole and give her a squeeze. And like that, it's in there, threaded out. It uses left-hand threads on all the fittings and hardware to go into this, so that way you can thread it out with ease. And like that, I have my first bit of threads. I'm going to bolt it up to this, kind of shape it to where the bracket will line up with this fender well a little bit better, and make my second hole for my second bit of threads. So at this point I do have my brake lines all mocked up amongst the jumbled mess. Now the rear reservoir back here is the one that goes to the front brake, so I'm at a point where I can take that brake line off and start getting everything installed. Now I do have to use these little adapters to go from this 1/2 thread down to the 7/16 20, because the brake master and the proportioning valve actually use a different thread size than what standard 1/4 line uses, and you can't exactly get the correct size thread on your standard 1/4 line at the parts store. Now, call me a sissy if you want, but I'm using rubber gloves for this because I really don't want to get brake fluid all over me. Alright, we got the thing installed, got all the brake lines on. I don't have any leaks as of yet, but there is a lot of air. You pump the brakes and it's just, you can actually hear the air moving along in there. So, before I get to bleeding the brakes, I am going to go ahead and try to wire this up real quick. Alright, I've been doing some wiring, got the battery connected. Gonna test this out before I put the switch in to actually activate it. Check this out. So, put my hand over here, and I can feel this solenoid actuating. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this all apart. That tells me that my wiring is good. So now I get to put my momentary button in there. I'm gonna zip tie it to the steering wheel for now. So now I've got some speaker wire here. I'm gonna use this and coil it up. So I have it on this piece of drill extension. I just wrapped it up and I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of heat so that way it'll maintain that general shape. So I got the wiring portion of the job done. Now we are putting a fan on here and I am teaching her some of my little tricks. So she now knows how to use a fan to turn the fan pulley. And she now knows how to easily keep the pulley aligned when you go to put new bolts in it. Isn't that right? Mm-hmm. But anyway, now that the power's connected, so this is not switched, it is fused at the very least. So I'm gonna come over in here, we'll take my handy dandy little push button. Now, one of these is not isolated, that one only has momentary power, so check this out. I'll push the button. And it only shocks me a little bit if I accidentally touch it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull this power back off, and zip tie that onto the steering wheel, and we'll be able to do our little thing. All right, got it all put together. I've got good enough pedal, and that whole thing works. So I'm gonna fire this thing up here in a second, go back it out of the shop, and then see if the line lock works. Quickly devolved. As you can see, I no longer have the button here. I just have wire hanging out through the dash. I figured for what we're doing today, it's fine. I'm not going to a drag strip, but I didn't have enough wire and it ripped the wires out the back of the switch. So I put new connectors on it and I couldn't put it on the dash like I wanted to. So yeah, cheap parts being cheap. Oh, here at the event, one of my buddies is about to go do a burnout real quick in his Turbo LS S10. Yes, very generic, but cool truck nonetheless. For his credit, he just got this thing running again today. On a different tangent, check this out. 66 Charger, complete with the full-length console. For those of you that don't know, the dashes on these things actually glow like a fluorescent green. It's really, really cool. This is the first time I've seen one actually on the road, and I am loving this. So for what it's worth, on that last burnout, his boost controller was unplugged. All right, my turn. You know, I feel like I've seen this before on my own car, but not from doing burnouts. That rear tire just kept on spinning. much on Chevrolet, but you definitely got to admire these headers. That's pretty dang cool.
What do you say?
She wasn't getting too much closer. Thanks, man. Woo! She's smoky. Well, here's one of my competitors. He went and blew a tire as well. He's a pretty cool guy. Check him out, Oklahoma's Most Hated. Pretty cool guy. Known him for years. Although if you watch my channel, admittedly, you probably don't like these things. Got the other clutch car here. For y'all, just so I figured it'd make people happy.
For a car that got dug out of the field, this thing's a beast. How do you feel about your burnouts?
For the first time ever doing something like that, I'm pretty happy.
Well, I think the burnouts were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have enough to get home, but just barely. Let's see what the other side looks like. Looks like it's slightly better, but yeah, there ain't much tread left. it's almost gone. And can we just admire the amount of rubber on this car now? I like it. Dude went and put his big tires on it. Of them. That's pretty brutal. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the 318. Woo! Caught it on fire, then finished them off. Well, looks like so much rubber. That is a lot of rubber. By the way, future Tanner here, I forgot to mention earlier that I took these out of the mufflers. These are what's called diverters, and it essentially makes these Flowtech Warlock mufflers into a straight through, it's basically straight piped is what it is. So that's why it's been so loud throughout the burnout part of the video, whereas earlier in the video it was pretty mellow. Why is this going on? I can't really see it, but pretty slick little black 71 Mustang that's got a 460 in it. Look at all that room in there. You can actually work on your spark plugs. Anyway, at this nice event after the burnout contest, we're gonna go grab something to eat. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, do the things for the stuff. It helps out the things. Thumbs up from Shelby. 2 thumbs up.
Thumbs up from the toe.
Yep. Hope y'all enjoyed. Modern Bronco. Yeah, not that style. And I just want to know how the guy gets in this truck. He's not that tall.